Hi guys, and welcome to the Ace Tanker for the ISU-122S. Yes! Where did I get this tank? Well, today I sat down, I was making some videos. I planned to release another couple of videos, 2 videos planned for release today, but then while I was making those videos, I got a message on Facebook saying that the ISU-122S was available in the gift shop, and it's only going to be available for 3 days. You've only got 3 days to get your hands on this tank. So, of course, I dropped everything, popped into the gift shop, bought the tank, and then decided to do a first impressions, because I'm sure you guys want to see this tank in action before it's removed. Now, if you're playing on other servers, you've had access to this tank for quite some time, but for us here in the EU, this is our first opportunity to get our hands on the tank, and I'm a little bit bitter about that. I'm a little bit angry about that, to be honest, because this tank is not cheap. It's 30 euros. You're going to be paying 30 euros. Now, you get 2,500 gold. You also get 3 days of premium with that package, but it's basically 30 euros for a tier 7 tank. So if you were on another server, you would have gotten this tank as part of the Berlin Quartet, and Wargaming, I believe, charged pretty much the same in the EU for the 3 tanks package as they did on other servers for the 4 tank package. So yeah, Wargaming seem to milk EU players for everything they can get. I have no idea why it wasn't released in the EU as part of the other packages, but Wargaming, I suppose, are there to make profit, and they've just made another 30 euros from me. Mainly down to the fact I just want to get this tank. I'm a tank collector and I have to review it. So these are my first impressions of the tank, and my first impression coming into this was I wasn't very happy about having to buy this tank and having to spend more money, but looking at the tank itself, I think the model is very, very nice, very, very detailed. Love the weathering, love the pock marks, love the divots, lots and lots of detailing. The armor looks worn, lots of rivets, lots and lots of details. Pickaxe on the side. It's got 2 logs, and they're side by side, so that does my OCD all sorts of good. At the back of the tank, you got a tow rope, you've got a couple of tarpaulins here and here. Crates. Yeah, it's just the model looks very, very nice. So how does the tank play? Well, it plays very, very well. Let's just go into tank compare. And we're going to be comparing the ISU-122S versus the SU-152, the Tier 7 tank destroyer equivalent, and the ISU-152 because it's basically a cut down version. It's a Tier 7 version of this tank. Only difference is it's using 122mm compared to the 152mm. So what I've done is I've come down, I've put the same gun on all 3 tanks. Now the 122mm it's using is actually the final 122mm for the SU-152, so it's the final gun. Now, I don't use the 122mm on the SU-152, I prefer using the derp gun, but I know players out there do like to use the 122, and this is the final 122. So basically, this is a fully upgraded SU-152. This is a it's a premium tank, but it's got the top gun, and this is a fully upgraded ISU-152, but we're going to choose the D25S mod 1944. So this is a fully upgraded ISU-152, just not using the final gun. It's using the 122mm. And what we got is a very, very good tank. So straight away you could see that the hit points match the SU-152, so it's Tier 7 equivalent. The signal range is the worst thing about this tank. It's only got a signal range of 144 meters. The SU and the ISU have that beaten, but you can see that the speed, top speed limit for all 3 tanks is the same, but the reverse speed is 1 kilometer faster on the ISU-152 and the ISU-122S. 1 kilometer an hour faster reverse speed than the SU-152, so slight improvement in the tank. So only 1 negative and only 1 small positive so far. The crew layouts are exactly the same. It's a very, very good crew trainer for later Russian tank destroyer crews. And then we come to the armor. Now what you see here is the armor is better than it is on the SU-152 because it's an ISU-152. It's got exactly the same armor profile as the Tier 8. Next thing we come down to is mobility. And while it gets 100 horsepower less than the ISU-152 at Tier 8, it gets the same horsepower as the SU-152 fully upgraded. The horsepower to weight ratio is even slightly better than the SU-152 for some reason, but probably not noticeable. And the traverse speed is very good compared to the SU-152 and the ISU-152. The terrain resistance is also better on this tank than it is on the other two. So on hard terrain, all three tanks perform the same way. Medium terrain, the medium terrain resistance on the ISU-122S is better than the SU-152 and the ISU-152, and the soft terrain resistance is better on this tank than the other two tanks as well. The fire chance is the same between the two Tier 7s. The Tier 8 has a slightly less chance of going on fire, and then we come down to the turret or the view range. The view range is 350 meters, exactly the same as the Tier 8. It's got better view range than the SU-152. The turret traverse is exactly the same. The gun depression is exactly the same. The final gun, as I say, it's the final gun as the SU-152. So the rate of fire is very, very good. The penetration is the 175 millimeters as per expected for a Russian 122 millimeter. The DPM or the alpha damage is the same. The DPM is the same across all three tanks. So even though this is a Tier 8, it gets exactly the same DPM with this gun as the SU-152 does and the ISU-122S. The rate of fire is exactly the same. The reload time is exactly the same. Everything is exactly the same. Aim time is okay at 2.9 seconds. Not great, can cause you to miss a couple of shots if you're trying to take snapshots, but that's just Russian guns. The accuracy is not good. From my first 5 games in this tank, I thought the accuracy was actually quite poor. Sniping from long range, most of the time my shots didn't even reach the target. I thought the accuracy was extremely poor, but when I put a very, very good crew in this tank, the accuracy then got a little bit better, but or maybe it was just luck, but it's just typical Russian, and the gun on the tank basically performs exactly the same as it does on a SU-152 and a not quite fully upgraded ISU-152. So really, the ISU-122S is better than the SU-152 in almost every single way, with the exception of signal range. Yeah, I'm playing with RAM here in this game. This is my ace tanker game in the tank. It's 6 games in. I played 5 games with a crew that came in the tank, and because I didn't have 6th sense, I got fed up of dying because I didn't have 6th sense. So I finally, this is my first game with a good crew in the tank. I've got 6th sense, but we're here on airfield. So as I say, this is my ace tanker. But also a first impressions. Even though it doesn't show it here, the reload is 6.1. So because the crew that comes with the tank is 100% and has brothers in arms anyway, no matter if you're playing it with a crew that came with the tank or you're putting a very good crew that has brothers in arms into the tank, you're going to have a reload of 6.1. And when you consider you've got a reload of 6.1 and 390 alpha damage, this is an absolute beast. So the DPM, absolutely amazing, providing you can hit and pen enemy tanks. So as I say, I'm playing with a good crew for the first time. I've got 6th sense. Unfortunately, I knocked down a tree. That was a mistake by me. So just setting up here, waiting. Sometimes tanks like to rush across the middle. This is a very long, drawn-out game, by the way. So there's going to be periods of inactivity, and there you go. I hadn't been spotted, but because I knocked down that tree, that was a mistake by me. I'd like to do the same, actually. Oh, and here we go, and my tank is bobbing up and down. I miss shots, but I like to usually plant a shot in there when I'm RT as well, regardless of whether or not the tree is knocked down. But yeah, the aim time is not great, and as you can see, swung the tank around, wasn't able to get shots at the tanks moving across, but I know Artie is going to be aiming at this position. I've already used my first aid kit to put my gunner back in, so not a good start, haven't done any damage. And I'm just using standard AP here, 175 millimeters of penetration. 3 tanks advancing, and there we go. Sometimes it's Russian and the accuracy is great. But a couple of games I played earlier today, those shots would have missed. but haven't been spotted, so I've got a good camo crew in this tank. The camo rating seems to be quite good. Sneak a shot, do a reload in time, there we go. I sneak a shot in, and Ram manages to finish him off, so... Bounce on the VK. There's a KV-1S sitting up here beside me. I'm a little bit worried, again, because of Artie. But, come on, we can do this. You can see the reload is absolutely amazing for the alpha damage. And there we go, there's kill number 2, or kill number 1. So, we have a fail platoon. I forgot to mention that. We've got a fail platoon. We've got a UE-57 on our team in this game. But that guy was a legend. You'll see why a little bit later. So I'm just waiting. Ram puts a shot into the T-34-85. There's a Chinu that was last spotted moving up through the middle. I'm wondering if I'm going to have shots on him if he keeps advancing. Ram is moving in on the T-34-85. Is he going to come out? Chinu appears. Swing back. Traverse speed is good. I pre-aim. I'm auto-aim, by the way. And I miss. So, it got me spotted, but... yeah, my reticule was very, very small, and that shot missed, and sometimes the accuracy is just god-awful. At least from the first 6 games I've played. So, we're losing the north, that's why I've relocated. Just need this Tiger to advance. But it doesn't look as if he's going to advance, so there's nothing here. They've just taken out our Tiger, so we've got a Stuke 3G and a UE-57 on this side of the map, along with me, and then an Arl appears. And don't have much to shoot at shooting over rocks, but we sneak a shot in, and it gets me spotted. I've got a camo crew in this tank, but unfortunately it got me spotted. So trying to reverse away. I think I'm Artie safe, not quite sure. Knock down a tree, move forward again, and Artie. Yeah, so Artie, leave me alone for once. So there goes the rest of my health, and this is the reason this game turned into a very long drawn out process. We take out the Tiger 1, but my driver's dead, and I've already used my repair kit, or my first aid kit, so yeah, not looking so good. I've still got a little bit of time before the M12 reloads, and because I've relocated, there we go, Artie's going for me again. Miss my opportunity, gun bobbing up and down, need to kill the Arl, trying to save the UE-57 for some reason, and there we go, Hand of Stalin, absolutely nothing to aim at the Arl-44, and we managed to sneak a shot in. But yeah, sometimes the gun is accurate, sometimes the gun is incredibly inaccurate, but it's Russian. You got to get used to this if you're driving Russian TDs. So Ram's in trouble. I'm moving up to take care, or try and help Ram, keep him alive as long as I can. Aim, 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 and get a shot into the T-34-1 now. A lot of my shots have been rolling low. 390 alpha damage, and a lot of my shots were rolling low in this game. But I got spotted trying to dupe Artie, moving back, moving forward until I dropped off radar. There's a T-150 over here. Again, don't have much to shoot at. Ram is in trouble. But the T-34-1 has been tracked. We can finish him off. That's kill number 4. We're up to 2.2k damage, and I've just been spotted again. So Artie, leave me alone, please. Ram doesn't finish off the T-150, and remember I said the UE-57 was a hero? T-150, Tier 6 heavy tank, UE-57, Tier 3 French tank, tank destroyer. Look at this UE-57, I miss a shot. Didn't have much to aim at, but look at the T-150. T-150 kills Ram, but the UE-57 kills the T-150. Yeah. What a little hero. I'm glad I saved him now. But, yeah, this tank, it's better than a fully upgraded ISU-122 if you're not using the derp gun. It's almost as good. It is as good as an ISU-152 at Tier 8. The only difference is you get less signal range and you get less hit points, but not by much. So other than not having a BL-10 gun and worse signal range and a couple of hundred less hit points, it's an ISU-152. And it makes it better than the SU-152 in-game. So it's yet another one of the Berlin Quartet premium tanks that is actually better than in-game rivals, as long as I say you're not using the derp gun. I'll always drive the SU-152 because I love the derp gun, but it's just a very, very competitive tank destroyer. It doesn't get special matchmaking like the other tanks. It will see tier 9s, and it does suffer in tier 9 games. I played a couple of tier 9 games where I was not able to pen enemy tanks, at least frontally. But I've got a dead driver, and the tank is painfully slow. Even though the traverse speed on this is better than it is on the SU-152, it's better than it is on the ISU-152 a tier higher. With a dead driver, unfortunately, it's still a pain in the butt to play. So unfortunately, our UE got taken out. I'm on 143 health, dead driver, and I was expecting the Jackson to advance, but our Hummel moved across, so maybe the Jackson didn't advance, and I'm just struggling with the tank to turn it around and do something. So it's 3v3, but they've got a Stug, a Jackson, and one Arty versus 2 Arty and myself. Moving forward, hoping to let my binocs kick in, maybe spot some tanks, and then the Jackson appears behind, and I've got to turn around. Not fun with a dead driver. Trying to stay safe from him so he doesn't spot me. He's putting shots into the Hummel, but I'm pretty certain I haven't been spotted. Sixth Sense hasn't gone off. Enemy Arty takes care of our Hummel. The Jackson is advancing, so what I could do is I could pop down, hopefully find him and get a shot in. And big alpha damage, 329 health, no problem for this gun. So once again, I've got a little bit of time to play around with while Arty is reloading. I'm wondering, is the Stug coming to flank me? Stug hasn't been spotted yet, but Ram informs me that the Stug was last over at D9, at least that's where he got shot by him. So, just wondering, is the Stug coming from a left, is he coming from the right? But, let's speed this up. You can see even on ×4 it's still slow. So, oh, there we go, and we spot the Stug, and the Stug did come from my right. So, I've been spotted, Arty's in play, and, yeah, the Stug can technically kill me. Depends on what gun he's using and whether or not he can pen me, but, Stug decides to come for me, and one-hit kill again. So, this tank, when it's top tier, tier 7 game, shooting tier 5s, it's just great. It's competitive, it's a decent money maker, and Arty just fires. Now, judging from where that shot landed, I reckon Arty is directly ahead of me in cap. But once again, I'm going to speed this up to ×8 because this takes me forever. We've got 3.5 minutes. I'm rolling towards cap, basically thinking that maybe I reckon Arty's directly in front of me. Ram reckoned Arty was over in B9, and that's where I got shot from him earlier. But the last couple of shots, I think he's straight ahead of me. So I switched to HE. Thinking, okay, over 500 damage. Oh, we find Arty directly in front. And we only do 196 damage. He fires and misses. But the reload, look at this reload. 6.1. We finish off Arty for kill number 7. 3.2k damage, and game is over. So yeah, first ace tanker in the ISU-122S, and my first impressions. I think it's a very, very good tank. It's a shame here in the EU we got milked and had to pay more money than other people on other servers, but that's just the way Wargaming EU works. we got an ace tanker. We finished with high caliber. We finished with top gun. It's a good tank. It's a good purchase. 3.2k damage, 7 kills, 1355 XP. I'll take that. 17 shots fired, 13 hits. The accuracy is the biggest letdown, but if you're used to driving Russian TDs, then you're going to be used to the accuracy. It's pretty much no different than any other Russian 122mm. The alpha is great. The reload is great. The DPM is great. So 3,221 damage done in that game. 4 spotted, 8 damage, 7 destroyed, 540 assistance damage, and 9 base cap points. And we finished up with 70,000 credits. So it can make money. It can make money. Good crew trainer makes money. It's better than a fully upgraded ISU-152 if you're not using the derp gun, that is. And its stats are as good as the Tier 8 ISU-152 with the 122mm, just slightly less hit points and slightly less signal range, but other than that, it's pretty much identical. In fact, it's got better traverse speed than any of the other tanks. So that's my first impressions. I think it's very, very good, and if you like Russian tank destroyer gameplay, the ISU-122S is not going to disappoint you. As I say, it's better than the ISU-152 in almost every single way. The only advantage the SU has is it comes with a derp gun, which I love. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.